All right, welcome to Make a Path Presents. I'm Ronnie Hayes, and today let's talk about the Walking Dead comic, issue 190, Storm the Gates. All right, so actually, before we get into that, for those who may have missed, I know YouTube hasn't been too great with notifications, but I put up an update video for Doomsday Kingdom. We have posters on the website. We got them in. They are fantastic, thick quality 11 by 17s. And yeah, they're available now. You buy them, they ship right away. We have the memories, that's what you just saw there. And then we have a stack of the issue 1 wraparound called the Feeding Post. You can't see it all there. It kind of looks like this. That is a different, that's something different, but it looks like that, the picture anyway. Anyhow, let's jump into issue 190, and then we'll look at 191 and 192 covers because they make a little more sense now that we know what's going on in the story. Last arc we left off with something that I actually did enjoy. I'm not all that thrilled with what's been going on in the Commonwealth storyline. I'm definitely giving it a shot, but last issue they did something nice where they got Mercer and Rick aren't really like enemies. Mercer really does want something good to come out of the change in leadership. And Pamela does seem like she has the potential to be okay and to be someone that they can work with. But in the same strength, she still has that hardness about her where she's an elitist bitch. You know what I mean? So Rick tries to calm down Mercer and he says we could talk to Pamela. And then the herd that was coming after Eugene and them over by the train come to the community. They all run inside. And then Rick hears this horn and it's Maggie. She has the incredible talent to just show up. This is like the third time she's just showed up to save the day. I think it would be cool if by now they just gave her something. Like give her the Commonwealth. You know what I mean? Just give it to her. She deserves it. She keeps just showing up, saving their asses. But they show up and they try to lure out the zombies. There's a little bit left. They even have a cool little image of Elodie, Michonne's daughter, getting ready to fight. And Michonne isn't having any of it. Yeah, they got some good artwork here with the Charlie Adler herds that we know and love. But they get the herds kind of cleared out, and then all of a sudden Maggie's all like, well, looks like you had help on your way. And then bam, Pamela shows up with the army from Greensville, I think it was called, that other community that's kind of connected to the whole huge expansive Commonwealth. So Pamela gets this idea that it was Rick's whole genius plan to move her over and then take over the Commonwealth. And Rick is trying to say, like, nah, homie, that is just not how it is. And then they have kind of an ending that's reminiscent of the old governor where she's just yelling, attack. I think it's kind of neat. I don't think I showed a lot of the comic. I might just show you the end. I know the end is the end, but the end isn't really like this huge cliffhanger image of some death or one big reveal. Let's just show you the end, because one thing I did love is the similarities between the old governor and the new. And again, I'm hoping they're doing something with that because, yes, I fully understand and I see it is a bit repetitive. You know, we had the old governor. We run into a new governor. She's a chick. You know, she's cleaned up. She doesn't look like someone who is grungy. She looks trustworthy, possibly. And then she has this attack. The only difference with the governor is I believe he said attack and then kill them all. Because I think there was an image of him on the tank, and he said attack. And then when you flipped it over to his full page cliffhanger ending, it was kill them all. Or maybe it was just kill them all. It doesn't matter. But you get what I'm saying about the similarities between the two governors. One thing I liked a lot is having it a misunderstanding. It's just a simple misunderstanding, but at this point, the governor might just have to go. And then you have Mercer and Rick. I like how it's not conflict there. They both want good to come from this. And it's not just Mercer is, I want power, I want it. I actually really like that aspect. I know they say conflict is king, but you can have characters who the conflict isn't, they're on opposite sides. The conflict, well, they kind of are, but listen to me. The conflict is they have a different view of how to get to the same location. They want to get to the same spot. They want this community to thrive and succeed. They both do. And then they just have different ideas of how to go about it. Mercer feels he knows the governor. She knows she's an elitist bitch and she will not change no matter what you do. And then Rick thinks he can get through to her. You know, she's civilized. We can work this out. He doesn't know her as well. He just got to meet her. So I like how there's conflict, but it's not governor versus Rick, like the old governor, or, you know, the hunters versus Rick. It's not that conflict where there's a clear good and evil. They're both essentially good guys in this story. I'm still waiting for something to happen that's a bit different. I'm not really sure where they are expecting to go with the Commonwealth, just because it essentially will lead to somebody running the Commonwealth. Let's say it's Mercer. All right, that'd be different than I'm expecting, because I'm expecting either Rick or Maggie or somebody to just take over the Commonwealth, which I do have my little conspiracy theory for the Commonwealth. I know I brought this up in a video about the TV show, but there was a few comments where I think it's easy to take something someone says and not try to look at the whole picture and just like poke holes at this, and this. And like I said, it's a conspiracy theory. I'm aware of it. But I strongly believe, even if Kirkman hates the people at HBO at this point, you know, he's suing them. They cheated him out of a little bit of money according to that lawsuit. He's still friends with Gimple. He's still friends with the cast and the crew. That's not how it works. He might just be in a little bit of a beef with AMC in the corporate side, the CEOs or the president or whoever. Let's say he has a beef with everyone in the AMC offices, but as far as on the show, he's still cool with the cast and crew. That I can see that. Kirkman needs the Walking Dead show to succeed, whether he is in it or not, or connected or not with the writing, with anything. He needs it to succeed. Why? When the show is on and when the show is doing good, he sells more Walking Dead merch, comics, you name it. It is so directly connected. It's like its very own economic ecosystem where one affects the other financially. But the show just happens to have that edge over the comic where it has a bigger fan base. You will have, and we've seen it all the time, where you have show fans that don't even read the comic, purchase comic merchandise, t-shirts and figures and this and this. We see it all the time. They don't have a beta figure. I just seen someone shot me a message. They don't read the comic at all, but they just bought a whole bunch of comic figures because they're characters from the show, that like Beta and Alpha and Lydia. They're not exactly the ones from the show, but they didn't care. I wouldn't either. I don't care about, get a Beta figure for the shelf. I don't care if it's, I think it'd be awesome to get one from the show, but my point is, Kirkman wants it to succeed. So maybe the Commonwealth, in my little mini conspiracy theory, the Commonwealth could be such a big community on purpose, because in the show, it will help the longevity, because now they don't have to ugly up the environments. And I've seen a couple people go, Ronnie, you're crazy. It doesn't cost that much to throw trash around a neighborhood and this, that, and a third. And it's just not simple. It's just, can I be rude for a minute? It's ridiculous to think every scene is that simple. There's a couple scenes where it is that simple. But they've shown and proved there's numerous scenes where they have to do extensive CGI, or they have to dress the whole set. They have to figure out where they're filming, go on certain locations. Imagine if you had a part of the story that was the Commonwealth, and it looks like old-fashioned society. You can go to an existing community right now and film and say it's the Greensville, and you don't have to dress the set at all. Add in some different type of conflict, and there, now you're helping the budget in some sort of way. But again, that's only my little conspiracy, because I do think the only way the Walking Dead story has to go is up. It has to get bigger and bigger and bigger, because it will break realism for the survivors if they are walking around scavenging food. They can't. It's been too long. There's no more canned food or cereal boxes or, oodles and noodles. That shit has long since expired and rotten. The only way they can survive is if they run into other little towns and they trade for goods on the road and they travel in that respect. They need to be able to grow and hunt their own food. That is the only way the story continues. So they must, from this point on, they must be in and or around a community in order for the story to continue this way, unless we're going to follow a small group going out on missions, or Negan out there hunting and trying to gather food and whatnot. So the Commonwealth story, it's still not blowing me away. I did enjoy the zero conflict here, but they want the same thing, so they're at kind of a crossroads. And I did enjoy Pamela misunderstanding what happened and then her saying attack. That leads us to the covers that are going to follow. Yikes. I do got a lot going on with the multiple channels and selling my comic, DoomsdayKingdom.com, getting posters shipped, getting the new issue scripted, and even moving for issue 5 in the volume. So I can't really edit this together too much, but this is the issue we just read. This is the next cover, which clearly we know now. It has Pamela and her army and her douchebag son. And then we have the good guys on this side, Eugene, Michonne. I think is that? Never mind. I guess that's Elodie? I thought that was Magna, but never mind. I screwed that up. Here's Maggie, it looks like, and then Mercer. And it looks like Rick is trying to calm everyone down, or they just go to war. And then the next issue, which I love this cover actually, it's the aftermath. So there's going to be some type of battle or resolution with the governor attacking, and then the aftermath. Zombies are all on the ground. Leads me to believe maybe they do come to some kind of conclusion without having to battle. Or maybe they just battle. In all reality, who cares if they do either or? If they battle and Pamela dies and they just take over the community, who leads it? And does that matter? Well, I mean, what's the story coming next? I think that's the whole... I think my opinion on the Commonwealth story arc is going to hinge on, well, where is this even going? Because at this point, I just see it going where we're just changing leadership of the Commonwealth. And maybe our group is going to take over and help them rebuild after this change in leadership. And then maybe Rick and them leave Alexandria and move in, the Commonwealth. And that's where the story is headed. A total change of location. I mean, Alexandria has been in the story since, what? Issue, 70 something. I'm trying to think now. 60s was the Hunters, and then after, so around issue 70 something, 69, I don't know. So that's quite a while. From, let's say, issue 69, 70 all the way up to 100. That's over 120 some issues. Yikes. Maybe Alexandria needs to end after this. Maybe that's where we're heading. The fall of Alexandria somehow. Or maybe they just abandon it. Would they, though? Or would they leave it? I don't know. You give me your thoughts and opinions down in the comment box. I'm not really feeling the Commonwealth. However, where it ends up is going to really play heavily into what I feel about the story. Because if it ends up somewhere where I don't care about, then obviously, I'm not really going to be interested in this part of the story arc. But if it ends up somewhere where I'm like, oh my God, that actually does something awesome for the future of the story, then yeah, I'm fine with how it played out. Some parts may have been a little dull, but I'm cool. So we'll have to see. Thoughts and opinions in that comment box. I'm done talking. It's your turn. Don't forget, doomsdaykingdom.com. Crisp.